What are you worried about, mate?
Way so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Huang, you little Lingtings. I don't care because we won. Lincoln won. Chelsea 2. More goals from Chelsea. We win the game. Take that, Lincoln. Glocked up in the theatre, fam. Tyreek George. Etc. Look, man, this is absolutely one of those games that we will look back as an anecdote. Yeah? And hopefully we're learning about these players. Very, very rotated side, as expected. My most disappointed thing from the lineup was, oh man, why is Tyreek George starting as a striker again? Why aren't we seeing Shim play there or some, or alternative? Turns out Ty got both goal involvements in the end, in the second half, and oh my word, this was a nightmare on the precipice. It was like, do you know what I mean? It felt like, have we done a Freaky Friday body swap with Manchester United at Old Trafford before we walked out of the tunnels, and they suddenly came out really aggressively and high pressing on top, and we had a sort of banter moment with Sanchez getting sent off, and then they sort of, gained our confidence, and then we go on to get eliminated from the Carabao Cup from a Football League side in Lincoln. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the ramifications about this game, man. Settle in, strap yourselves in. Thank you so much for joining me. You're almost welcome. Let's grow the following together. Like and subscribe, yeah? And if you have... Hold on. Let's get the cap out. If you have any hype points... Wait, what is the hype point? It's down there, isn't it, underneath the screen? Please, sir, drop your hype points for this poor YouTube content creator. Let's get into it. Alright, mate, so... we might as well dive straight in. Let's have a look, then. Lincoln. I believe they're, third in the third division, right? By the way, worth mentioning as well, Brighton absolutely slapped up Barnsley away, 5-0 and counting. Oh, freaking Liverpool, man. Just as I thought, so I'm just checking the Liverpool score. Someone scored for Liverpool because they freaking they always blag their way through in late goals. Anyway, Brighton, our next opponent in the Premier League, they've slapped up their opposition five goals. 5 goals. I think it's 5 goals. I'm going to double check now at time of recording. So 6 goals. 6 goals. Now Barnsley are lower than Lincoln, but 3 places, so similar in the Football League. Both away from home. 6 goals. Some kid called Diogo Gomez. I don't know who any of these men are. Some kid scored 4 goals. Is he going to start on the weekend? I hope not. Fucking hell. Welbeck's playing in the 10. What is Herzl up to? We're not talking about Brighton. Hugo Ekitike scored for Liverpool. Both their strikers scored. Oh, and then he got a red card. What's happening in that game? Chelsea. We're talking about Chelsea. Chelsea. We're going to make it a blue day. So, Lincoln played a back 5 and 3-2. You think, that means they're going to, just dig in and try and get the odd chance on the break. No, they did, sacrifice possession, but oh my word, they came at us in that first half, and indeed the whole game. And I must say, shout out Lincoln, worthy of respect. We handed them a lot of stuff, chances in the game, but yeah, they were slapping us about early doors, mate. I must say, it was harrowing sugar. So this was us. This is us, lol. We had this Brenner in goal, and we are going to talk about what is it? There's far too much green there. We are going to talk about this guy in a moment, Jorgensen in goal, because that was what can only be described, guys, as a disaster class in goal. Take your 6.7 and shove it. because, yeah, it was bad. Fofana and Trev in the back line. Let's have a look at that heat maps. Fofana playing as a sort of right centre-back in possession. Yeah, so essentially Hatta will be more reserved. He did get forward, actually, as well. But it was Gusto that was getting forward, holding the width. But not that he did much. And the only thing that I remember Gusto doing is what he always does. Takes a shot he shouldn't do, often on his weak foot, and he's never going to score a goal. He's quite literally never going to score a goal for Chelsea. Santos was in the midfield. I think he was actually pretty good, all things considered. World champion for club and country, Enzo Fernandez. Captain was the only senior sort of elite high-level player that started. You could say the defenders in Fofana and Chalobah, but our defenders haven't been looking very Galactico of late. And I thought Enzo Fernandez had a horror show for the goal. We should talk about the goal. Fernandez sells Chalobah short. I think he says a pass back to Chalobah that he didn't want. I actually think Chalobah was pretty poor on the goal, to be honest, in terms of contesting it. He didn't quite. I think they picked it up on the commentary as well on Sky Sports Football. He was pretty. I think he wasn't great for the goal. I love Chalobah. I'm very mindful of criticising him because you guys know I'm a Fofana super fan, and I get a lot of grief for it. But hey, football's a game of opinions, man. But yeah, I don't criticise Chalobah for things like the own goal like the other day, because that can just happen to any centre back. But these moments, it frustrates me in terms of when he contests for that, or doesn't contest for it properly. Although to be fair, it was Fernandez. He didn't have a bad performance. Fernandez had a bad performance. And look, Fernandez isn't a bad player. I need to have this conversation with some of you, yeah, because I did my halftime Instagram live. Every Chelsea player was catching heat. Everyone was terrible. Tyreek George was getting the most flack in the chat, in the live stream chat, saying like he's got to leave, he's terrible, and this, that, and the other. And I was trying to say, no, he's good. He just shouldn't be playing as a striker. So I'm happy he's the one who bailed us out with a goal and an assist in like 4 minutes. But yeah, Garnacho, Gittins. I don't know why. God, these ratings are all messed up, bro. I always remember Garnacho doing anything. Gittins did do a couple of good runs and had like a good shot, so I don't know why Garnacho is rated higher. Sometimes these ratings, bro, are just silly sausage business. Let's look at stats. First half. This tells a story, my dear sweet friends. Look at those stats here. In the first half, they had 23% possession, not even a quarter of the possession of the football, and they had 3 times as many big chances and shots. Oh, and 3 times as many corners. They trebled us on big chances, total shots, and corner kicks. Possession don't mean sugar. Second half then, let's try and hope for some better vibes. We gave them more of the ball, but there you go, we had way more shots. Big chances, more shots. And it was a better second half for us, which was interesting because he didn't actually make the changes at half time. We just came out better, which, to be honest, is a positive. It means Maresca, actually spanked them, did a team talk, and it worked. They listened, I guess. Maybe. So let's have a look at the timeline then. The sacred timeline. Santos somehow gets booked in the 22nd minute, and they score in the 42nd. And to be honest, at this point, they're good value. We've already spoken about the goal. It's a weird pass from Fernandez, who had a shocker. Trev kind of seemed scared of the ball coming in, and what's his name? Street. There's Street in House, by the way. There's a guy called Street and a guy called House that plays linking up in that team, which is very, very satisfying, you must say. Half time, I'm absolutely crap in the bed like everyone else is. We're all talking about the changes that need to be made. And no changes are made, but in the space of 2 minutes, 48th and 50, Chelsea hit Lincoln in the theatre in the back of the cranium with a pistol. The 1-2 punch, man. Tyreek George with a beauty, an absolute beauty. It's a great goal. It's like 20 yards out. He strikes it, kisses woodwork on its way in. It's lovely stuff. It's further. It's some evidence of Tyreek George's quality. We've seen him score before for Chelsea. We've seen him actually register a few assists. He's a good player. He's not a centre-forward Maresca We need to sit Maresca down. I think Maresca's still high on some like gas that he huffed before he hooked both Estevao and Neto at Old Trafford. He's not come down yet. And he's just in some sort of insanity spiral where he thinks Tariq George is like some big proper centre forward. He's not even a diminutive link play false nine. He's literally looked at him and gone, "You're relatively tall. Play a striker." Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, he obviously scored the goal from deep. He did do good work. Look, by the way, guys, I've got nothing against Tariq George getting better at this role and being an option for Maresca, and that being Maresca's plan. I ain't got beef with that. If it comes to pass, great. Maresca knows way more about football coaching than I. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Tariq George. Don't let it be, actually. Don't play him as a striker. And Buonanotte. Tariq George assist, lovely little wriggly about. We'll talk about him in a moment, but he scored a lovely little dinked finish. But let's be honest, Lincoln did not do themselves proud there in terms of defending in their own 18-yard box. What they did was they emulated the defending from Chelsea from the first half. More Freaky Friday swapping stuff going on there. And that was in the 50th minute, so I thought we might win 3. I thought this might be like a 3-1, 4-1 or a 5-2 to Chelsea, but no, we saw no more goals. Fernandez gets booked, Draper gets booked, House gets booked. Alejandro, why would Alejandro Garnacho? Someone tell me in the comments section why Garnacho was being booed so viciously from the Lincoln fans. Is there like a link there? Because look, Cucurella gets booed wherever he goes just for being a bit of a shithouse. But Why was Garnacho getting so much stick? Apparently he got booed when he got off the coach. Have I missed something? Is there some sort of link here from Manchester United and Lincoln? I've got no idea. I have no idea. Like, what's he done? I mean, I guess he's like maybe like a bit of an unlikable player, but like no more. They weren't booing Cucurella, and he's like our villain. So what was going on there? I don't know. Anyway, Estevao comes on. Shimaweka comes on in the 70th minute, which is good, and then Cucurella and Neto. So he brings on the boys, and he brings on Reggie Walsh late doors as well to see the game out. So, firstly, shout out to Lincoln. They played well for, what's expected of them, and we sort of got away with it a little bit. Right, Tariq George, well done, plaudits, man of the match for the goal and assist, even though you're being misused in terms of your position, that's fine. Garnacho didn't really do anything, Gittins didn't really do anything, apart from a couple of good dribbles. Facundo Buonanotte, the number 10 in this system, got a good goal, 100% accurate passes, which is, to be honest, long ball, to be fair, like, he's tiny, so I'm not surprised he didn't win the majority of his ground duels. He looks slick, bro. The little side flick, like glancing pass, the dummies. He's got the link play number 10 flair boy ting, whatever that means. He does look like he's capable of linking up at the elite level of elite level footballers around him. And I can understand why Chelsea looked to him and said, right, we need a placeholder, a very central player like this, in the meantime, to back up Palmer in these sort of games, and maybe off the bench if he does well. Doesn't matter if we can't buy him. We're going to see how Kendrick Pires does when he returns from Strasbourg. It's literally just a placeholder. It's weird for a club like Chelsea Football Club to do that, but here we are. Could be useful, and I was impressed by him, I must say. Fernandez had an absolute shocker. He's having a very strange season, He gets like goals and assists, and I don't understand. He's not really hit form properly by his standards, I think, yet. And Santos, good. I like Santos being relied on by Maresca. I want to see more of it. I suppose the back line, fine. I think Hato was awful in the first half. Jorgensen, all roads lead back to goalkeepers with Chelsea, don't they? And Jorgensen, he's really bad. Look, maybe that's unfair, because maybe he has played good games for Chelsea before. Like, there was a high sofa score ranking at one point there, whatever. But he was awful in this game. He literally knocked Wes. I thought the fact that Wes played on is pretty shocking, because he punched him in the face so hard that he made terrible decisions. There was a moment where the ball was coming down the high claim, and he was thinking, "Oh God, it's Old Trafford all over again. The second goal where I should have just come out and grabbed the ball in my 6-yard box. I'm going to be assertive. Assertive is punching his defender in the face. There was a moment where he literally had his hands like this. The ball popped out of his hand, it hit his face, and you saw his face go, "Eh! The ball hit my face." When it was out of his hands, it was just look. I'm not one for being cruel to players, but this was a disaster class in goal against Lincoln City. He did make a good save against Bruno Fernandes the other day, though, but that's not enough. We have a huge goalkeeping problem, and it's all on Penders or someone like Maignan, I guess. Well, we got through. Let's just all never speak about this fever dream again, but I would appreciate your support, so why not like and subscribe and jump on for the ride on Football Therapy. I hope to see you back here soon. Take care of yourselves. Peace.